Hi, nobodies. Um, I wish that I could say that Bob was doing better. I wish that I could say that Bob was already dead, but he's not. Poor guy. So today was a day. It wasn't a bad day. I mean, as far as like nothing happened. Um, it was just one of those days where I just wanted to sleep. My first issue came from middle of the night, waking up and feeling like I am just hot as hell. And I was just really, really uncomfortable. But I thought it was just me. At 4 a.m., I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go check the thermostat. It was 77 degrees in my house. And I said, well, no wonder I couldn't fucking sleep. That's too damn hot. So, turned it down, and then I was able to go to sleep. Then I woke up because Gavin was getting ready for school. Went back to sleep. Woke up again. you know. Nothing really happened today. It was a gray day outside, and these gray days are really starting to get to me as far as, just I mean, I try to see the colors, the foliage. I try to see that, but I like a blue sky. I'll take a blue sky and cold over gray and warm. It just zaps me. And then of course I'm worried about the hamster. So I spent a little time today watching TV, um, doing a whole streaming thing. I actually asked somebody a question yesterday. One of my friends, I said, do you like reruns? And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, I don't even have time for reruns anymore. I mean, think about it. I mean, in this day and time, okay, you got Facebook Watch, you got Amazon, you got Hulu, you got Netflix, Tubi. There's like Pluto. I mean, there's like a bunch of different platforms to watch shows on. Some are free, some cost you some money, you know. But the thing is you've got access to all this shit, right? And there's pretty much not going to be any reason to watch reruns, because if you look at what I've got set up to watch, I'm not going to run out of shit to watch to need to occupy my time by watching reruns. I mean, we used to have to deal with reruns, and I did like them. I did like watching, TV on regular TV, and if it was a repeat, it was like, oh well, still a good episode, you know. I mean, I've been known to watch Friends when it's on, just because I'm like, oh, this is a good one. So I do like reruns, but when you look at, especially when you get on like the back end of something, like I didn't watch Desperate Housewives when it was new. I watched it when it was complete. And man, I was obsessed with that show for weeks. I was getting in as many episodes as I could in a day, and I was getting really irritated when I'd have to take a break from it. I mean, I had headphones in, I was like, I ain't missing any of that, so and then it took me a while to go through Criminal Minds. Um, you got stuff like Supernatural that's on 14, 15 seasons so far. So like you look at all that and you're like, well, shit. When am I ever gonna need to? Because there's always new stuff coming out. I mean, you can choose to say, okay, I want to watch the Mayans, so I'll watch Sons of Anarchy first. I've already seen Sons of Anarchy, and I might watch it again. Because, come on, Jax Teller. Ha! Epic. Is what I can say about that. Charlie Hunnam is a hot man. Um, And that character is a bad boy that you just want to love. You know? I mean, he'd be a shit boyfriend, but he's still got that quality to him that says, love him anyway. You know, don't change him. Anyway, you know, they're pretty good about, you know, like, so I might rewatch that again before I start up the Mayans. But the thing is that there's like all this stuff to watch. And I've got one of my pen pals set me up with, he recently got sent to a low, and he asked if one of his new friends that's taken him under his wing could write to me. And I was like, yeah, sure. No big deal. You know, it's just email. And this guy's been in since before he was 20, and now he's almost 50. But 2 years from now, he'll be out. So he's really wanting to know, like, hey, what's going on in the world? Now, where they're at, they're not given a lot of things. At state facilities or privately owned facilities, there are places where inmates have tablets, kind of like a phone that they can play games on, email, make phone calls at some places, video visitation, you know, just various things. And I think for people like this guy, it's a really good idea that they have it, because think about it. If you went in before the year 2000, how different are things today than they were in 2000? It would be like stepping foot on a foreign planet, because you're gonna have to go out there. And I mean, even a friend that's hasn't even been in 10 years, he was like, I was like, you're gonna have to get a cell phone. And he's like, why do I need a cell phone? And I was like, because everybody has a cell phone. I mean, not having a cell phone is like, I mean, I remember this, like, maybe it was, I guess it was when I was pregnant with Gavin. I didn't have a cell phone. And when they said, you know, like, what's your cell phone number? They looked at me like I was crazy to not have a cell phone at that time. You know, this was 7 years ago. People looking like, what? You don't have a cell number? No, I didn't. So, but then again, you know, they got the government phones. So not having a cell phone is kind of silly. So, you know, just saying, dude, you got to have a cell phone. You don't have to have the S10 or the iPhone 11. You know, I mean, this guy will probably be all right with just a little $30 smartphone, because I don't see him getting into Facebook immediately. You don't have to spend a lot of money to watch YouTube on a cell phone. So, you know, but it's like, but dude, you gotta have a cell phone, because like everybody texts. You know, that's how most people prefer to communicate, is by text, because it's simpler. As far as if somebody's in the middle of something, they can hear their phone go off and they'll say, okay, I got a message to check for. You know, like if you're in the middle of lifting something or moving something, that phone ringing, and it's like, oh, I gotta answer the phone, you know. Anyway, you know, it's like, you gotta have a cell phone. You know, pretty much everybody has one. And that's just in, like, I think he's like 8 years for YouTube to take over and for Facebook to get huge. You know, I mean, when you look at what little amount of time it's taken for everybody to be so stuck in their phones. Because think about it. Most of the people you see their cell phone. if you're talking to somebody in a restaurant, like if you're having lunch with somebody, chances are you're going to see their cell phone within a 30-minute span. You're either going to see it immediately, or the phone's going to go off. They're going to grab it and silence it or whatever, because a lot of people don't think about silencing their phone until, unless that's like a job thing. But you're probably going to see it. It's also how people tell time. A lot of people don't wear watches. If they do wear a watch, it's normally a smartwatch these days. So, it's like all of this stuff. I mean, I so want to be there. Like I want to be there not just because I want to be there, but because I want to be there to show him the cool shit, because I get excited about this, because you got to think about it. If you were away, or if you were in a coma, and you're like, hey, let me show you the brand new world. I mean, you want to show people these things, and I mean, most of us don't get upset when we're like, you don't know about Facebook? Oh my God, you got to check out, because I mean, if you like Facebook, you're going to say, you got to check out Facebook. If you like YouTube, you're going to say, oh, you got to check out YouTube. If you like Snapchat, you got to say, you're going to say, oh, you got to do filtered pictures, and different things, I mean, it's just, there's so much cool stuff that we don't always take the time to recognize just how cool it is. So it's kind of exciting to me. And plus, it's always kind of exciting to me to show somebody something, like oh, let me show you how to work your phone. I don't mind. I really don't. So I mean, it's like I kind of want to be there for that, because it's so cool. Anyway, my night's looking up. Now I'm just waiting for my hamster's dead. But for now, I'm happy. I get excited about things, and that can do that. But what the fuck was I talking about in the first place? I don't recall. I really don't. I am drawing a blank. Ugh, I feel so stupid. Yeah, this is evidence for if anybody who has ever said to me, your intelligence intimidates me. I am 13 minutes into a video that I can't remember what I started talking about that led me to the last thing I was talking about. So do not be intimidated. I guarantee you there is no reason to be intimidated, because it's gone. What the fuck was I talking about? I'll have to watch the video in order to know what to call it. Yeah. And I say that with anybody, don't ever be intimidated by anybody's intelligence. Just like you shouldn't look at somebody like they're inferior because they haven't been to college. Going to college has nothing to do with brains. There are lots of brilliant people who just either it wasn't their thing, or it just never came together for them. Not everybody can just say, well, I want to go to school, and then go to school. It takes finances, it takes time, and some people just don't get around to it for one reason or another. So you can't figure just because you've got a doctorate in something that you're smarter than another person, because they might know everything you know and then some. They just don't have the piece of paper saying that they know it. A taxidermist could be a surgeon. I mean, they pretty much, that's what they do. They're good at cutting things and separating things. Anyway, yeah, so don't let anybody ever intimidate you if you think that they're smarter than you. Sometimes they're just specialized, and some of them make easy things hard. Some of them are full of themselves. They think they know everything. They might be small-minded. And I'll tell you what, I'll take an open-minded idiot over a small-minded genius any day. Because an open-minded idiot, at least they're not, sitting there with their feet in the sand going, I don't care what you say, you ain't changing my mind. Small-minded genius can at least listen. Even if they feel like you're not going to change my mind, if they give you benefit of the doubt that, hey, you can try. That's not really small-minded now, is it? If you're willing to listen. So, I'm going to go. It was an okay day. I had some smiles, some good times here and there, so I am not going to call it a bad day. And I think, I shouldn't even call it just a day. It was an okay day. So I hope that you at least had a day. Hopefully you had a great day. If not, at least a good day. And I hope that you can have a great night. And if you can't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow is always possible to have a better day. You just have to believe that it can be. So, have a good night.